Okay, kids, we are back, and this is with us today is Coach David Wilson. And how you doing, David?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. So, kids, Coach Wilson is the athletic director at Wiregrass Ranch High School in Wesley Chapel, which means that he oversees the entire sporting program for the school. Plus, he coaches a few of the teams. So, Coach, tell us about yourself first of all, where you grew up, and how did you get to this point that you're at now?
All right, I grew up in upstate New York, and ever since I can remember, my dad was a college basketball player. I was around athletics from day one, with two other brothers and a sister that are all athletes, and pretty much from the time that I stepped into an elementary school, my first PE class with Mr. Cooper, I can actually remember him, which was a long, long time ago. That's all I ever wanted to do. All I ever wanted to do is stuff with athletics and be and play as many sports as I could. Fortunate enough to go to college, and I played soccer, basketball, and I triple jumped for the track team when I was in college. And I had a experience that I would never change anything of. Once I graduated, I started as a physical education teacher in a high school for 2 years before I took a college basketball job. Spent 14 years coaching college basketball.
Wow.
But my boys, I have three boys of my own, and I watched them grow up. And I was on the road recruiting, and always away. And I decided that I wanted to see my kids grow up, so I was fortunate enough to take a job at the high school at Wiregrass Ranch, where my boys went to school eventually, and I got to coach them all the way through. And I've been there ever. So it's been 14 years there now, and a great experience in my life.
That's fantastic. Now, do you coach? Tell us, do you? I know you coach some of the teams there right now at Wiregrass, in addition to being the athletic director. Tell us a little
Yeah,
bit about that.
I've been really fortunate. I coach the soccer team and the tennis team, and both teams have been very successful. The soccer team every year I think is considered definitely one of the strongest in the Tampa Bay area, but also in the state. Um, the tennis team is I took because we couldn't find another coach to do it at the time. I love playing tennis, but it was not my expertise. But over the course of 14 years, we've won 12 conference championships, two state titles, a national championship, and our record right now in tennis is 208 wins and 19 losses over that time.
Wow, that's amazing. That is so cool. Okay, so the kids you're talking with are say 9 to 11 years old right now, and they have PE every day. So what I wanted to ask you was, do you remember you had talked about your PE coach when you were a young kid? Tell us what you remember about PE class when you were that age.
Well, for me, that's where I wanted to be. Besides PE and lunch, those are my two favorite things to do. But the best part about it was that I, we go in every day, and the organization that was fantastic. But he gave us looks at things that I had never done before. We did it, for example, a gymnastics unit. And I had never been on the parallel bars before or done a cartwheel or anything else, and it was all new experiences for me to be able to try. And it was that was my happy time of the day. So
That's beautiful. That's so good. That's what we try to make it. As we try to make it the kids' happy time of the day. And now I've sent you a clip of our kids doing our year-end focus on achievement night performance, is what we call it. And as you know from our talking earlier, rather than do a standard warm up of stretching and push ups, jumping jacks, etc., we do these routines. So, my question to you is, what impression do you have of this use of music and the way the kids move the way they do?
well, I have a couple impressions, but the first was that from being around athletics for so long in PE in elementary school and high school, you're doing things that other kids aren't getting the opportunity to do. There are people that work hard, and there are people that do their jobs, but there's also people that go above and beyond. And I think, Coach, you absolutely go above and beyond for your kids, and you give them an experience that I think they're all going to remember, and they're all going to take on with them. And it's it shows in how they are and how they react that the experiences are a really good one in so many ways for them.
That's great. Thank you so much for those kind words, Coach. Really appreciate it. Now, you're a professional in this space of physical education and athletics. I know you think about this job every day like I do. What do you think is important that PE should be about in 2020 and beyond? What should PE be?
Well, I think it's a number of things, and one is you're learning skills if you do want to become an athlete in a certain sport. But the bigger thing is just to be healthy for life, to be able to have activities that you know that you can do to make sure that you have a strong heart, to make sure that you're healthy every day when you walk out, whether it's just going out and walking or jogging or playing tennis or whatever activity it is. It's in your life, and there's really nothing ever negative that can come from it.
That's great. That's great. I look at things the same way. As far as advice, you may be talking to some future teachers, some future coaches, future leaders. What would you want to share with them?
Well, I'm finding now with kids when they get to high school, especially, that they are geared into trying to do one thing, and that's where our society's coming. If you're a baseball player, you just play baseball. Basketball, you just play basketball. The opportunities for professional athletes later on are so small that I really recommend to people to do as many things as you can do. Be active. You can, even if it's not in athletics, it's club, school, or joining, an instrument, learning how to play an instrument, or whatever it is. But find what's passionate for you, all right, and then just ride with it. All right, enjoy every experience and take every experience you can have with it.
That's fantastic. I'll tell you what, you and I think very much the same way. Well, Coach Wilson, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Really appreciate it.
I really enjoyed being here. Thank you very much.